Welcome to this live program, though I'm still alone up till now. The title of the program describes what it is going to be about. The question: should we come back with a program live with Aisha Yesufu? That's something we used to do Saturday, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. And we did that pretty well. It was going well. We're bringing in guests to come in and speak to us and we have conversation, picked up different topics that we talked about until the end of the last one we did, I think was around May. Excuse me. The last one we did was hello and welcome. Thank you for joining. You're the first person to join. No, let me do drum rolls. Well done. Thank you for joining. And so I was saying, like the question said, should we come up with the program that we used to have live with Aisha Yesufu, where we used to bring in guests to talk about different issues, topical issues, current issues, issues affecting governance, nation building, and all of that. And we were having that for a very long time, every week, until the last one was around May last week. I think that was the last Saturday of May, if I'm not mistaken, whether it was May 27th or something. And then unfortunately we got hacked, and that led to my YouTube channel being taken down. My YouTube channel was taken down for like about 3 months or more. I got it back. Don't even ask me how I got it back. Crazy. Crazy. There had to be a lot of, let me not go into that one, Sha, before, saying that, because what happened for those, I don't know if any of you, let me just give you the background. We're doing it normally during that program. It was through Zoom, and we put the Zoom link out there. People would join and we just talk. I never allowed sharing, but on this day we were having guests, so they had something to share. So I opened the link for them to share. Bam, some hackers took over and started showing pornography. It was crazy. So we immediately shut it down, got it under control. But unfortunately, we didn't bring down the one on YouTube, the video. So that's why I think maybe probably we should have immediately brought down the one on YouTube. So I didn't even think about it because we were more concerned about the Zoom. And for me, I was very determined we'll continue the conversation. We'll not let these hackers, get away with it. And so with that, we got all of that settled, and then I got later they actually we finished the program, then YouTube removed the video. They were like, oh, it broke. I'm like, okay, fine, since that was because we were going to cut that particular section all out. And then I think the very next day I just woke up, there was no YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was gone. But like, what? Oh yeah, they brought light. So that's the AC. Yeah, I have light, but ACs and fridges and whatever, they are not connected to our inverter, though they are connected to the generator. Anyway, that's another story. So it was like I woke up the next day. I think this was like around May 29th or something, May 28th or 29th. My YouTube channel was gone. I was like, what? Like, what happened? And then I got this email that, oh, we took down your YouTube channel because it showed pornographic, blah, 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 blah. Like, hey. And then whenever you will like any link that had to do with it, you will click on it. It says, oh, this YouTube channel has been taken down because of pornographic. I'm like, ah, if I want to do pornography, I'll kukuma open OnlyFans now. They collect millions of dollars per month. Yes, collect good money. Is it on YouTube that I will not come and for me, I was like, my name, because I'm very, me, I don't joke with my name. If you like, take away my wealth, my everything, the integrity, character, I don't joke with those things. Even as a child, I've always been that. I was like, no, this thing. But anyway, back and forth, a lot of, reaching out back. And then finally, one day I was just sitting down again. I don't know what happened because literally I couldn't be on YouTube or my channel. That's the thing about YouTube. It's not like Twitter when they take you down. you can easily go ahead and just open another Twitter account. YouTube is not like that. So everything, I can't even do anything. And just someone like, okay, I should use, whether I use either somebody else. I say no, because the YouTube rule says you should not even try to attempt to open. I said, for me, I don't do that. Even when Twitter, they used to take down my Twitter handle because government people will report it, they will mass report it, take it down. People will say to me, go and open another Twitter handle. I say, no, I'm not going to open another Twitter handle. So one day again, I think about 3 or 4 months later, I was just sitting down again. Pop, the YouTube channel was back. And so the reason why I'm telling you this, so that's when, so we were doing all of that live with Aisha Yesufu until the YouTube channel was taken down. And then when it came back, I tried to start it again, but it wasn't getting that momentum. So if you're having a conversation with just 6 people or 5 people, it can actually be tiring, you understand? And then it's discussion, we really need to have robust discussion. And then as of that time, I actually wasn't feeling very fine. Yeah. So last year was terrible for me. Nobody, people don't, for me, I don't talk about myself when I'm going through things. When I'm done with going through it, last year was terrible. All through that campaign, I was literally sick. In short, just this, let me just do this army book, by the way. The day they did Abuja rally, my friends came, because I was having vertigo, my eyes were turning. They had to take me for me to get checked. They even gave me this oral rehydration and everything. And then when I was done, you understand, when I was done with all of that, I came back and I climbed the stage. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. One of the things about I'm sorry, please. One of the things about sometimes having light there is the fact that you actually forget to charge your phones, because you can always charge it anytime. I don't know whether I have charger now. I can't even see. So let me see. I just saw my this thing dimming. Apologies, please. I can't see very well. Uh, Sorry about that. So one of the things was that I'm just trying to now put this in and see whether. Oh no, what's this? So it was last year, I was really going through so much sickness. So I just had to, that campaign. Oh wow, it's actually the light that dimmed. My battery is low. I didn't know that. And so especially the Abuja campaign, the Abuja rally, if you ever saw those pictures or whatever, it's crazy, because I had just come back from where I'd gone to the pharmacy for them to check my BP and all of that. And then I'm on the stage and I'm like jumping, like you would know that that's the person that was just sick. So I was really actually very sick. And after the elections and everything also, that was 2022 to 2023, after the election, even when I went to the US, really sick all through. I'm much better now, alhamdulillah. I'm very okay. So when I started that week, I didn't do it. So the question now I want to ask all of us, please let me also know. Welcome to those of you that are here. Thank you so much for joining. Is this something that we can bring back? And then also, who are the guests that you want to see? We brought in quite a number of guests during when we were doing that, especially during the election politics. It was really for us to talk about the election and stuff like that. And so I think there are so many conversations that we actually are supposed to really be having, that we should be having all of these conversations. Greetings to everyone. Okay, I can actually read it here so that I'm not squinting, right? That's the thing about this old age. For those of us, I'm 50 now. I love that. I'm 50. I'm 50, but like my daughter will say, she said I'm still behaving like a teenager. Yes, so yep. So I'm trying to go on my own other phone so that I'll be able to read the messages better, so that I'm not squinting when I'm reading those messages. So please, and also if you want to request, you can also request to come on. I think it's open. People can request for that. Good evening, John Shedrack, God's own Ikot. Good evening to you. Thank you so much. Love finance tips. A nice one. Good evening, Frida Gabriel. Also, good evening to you. I'm also supposed to be doing some things on financial literacy, but up till now, I've really not had time to do that, doing so much of the politics. But please, let's have those conversations. Let me also see What do you think about this? Is this something that we can start Saturday, 6 p.m.? Do we bring it back live with Aisha Yesufu? And also, what kind of guests will you likely to bring in? Would like us to bring in that we'll be talking to? What are some of the topics you want us to discuss? Because we really have to understand that when it comes to all of this thing, mental emancipation is very important. It's sometimes people don't understand the importance of it. They just say, "Oh, you're just talking." It's not just talking. We need to get people more enlightened, people more daring, people more understanding that they have rights, people understanding that this is their country. They are citizens. They are not slaves. So I say when I say a lot of time, people are like, "Oh, how is this woman not arrested? They should go and arrest her. This thing should do the needful. DSS should do the needful. The military should do the needful. This is." I'm like, how did you get to a place where you think it's okay for that a citizen should be arrested just because they voice their opinion? If I carried a gun today, of course, even me, I will call for my own arrest. I haven't done that. I haven't harmed anybody. I'm just telling you, you're not doing the right thing for the country. And I have a right to say that. It's my opinion. And I have the right to voice that. You don't have the right to shut me up. The only right that you have is to give me good governance. And you haven't been doing that. So why are you telling me not to speak up on issues? So sometimes these are some of the things that sort of like, just makes me feel worried about the country. And you see more people always falling into this sort of like category. So it's important that sort of like financial, I'm missing it up now. I'm still thinking financial literacy. That sort of like awareness, people understand the emancipation. So when we're talking, even this issue of having a third party, most Nigerians thought it was impossible until 2022. So these are the things when you keep talking. 2018, when we were talking about red card to APC and PDP, so people literally crossed us. I said, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? And all of that. But it's we saw how much of a reality it became. So all of this talking, they're very important so that people are having an understanding of the things that is possible. So please, I think you also can join the conversation. Freedom, justice. I think is that Uche James. Good evening. Okay, bring in Dele Faro TV. So we have one suggestion here. Yes, and Dele Faro TV had been a guest also, one of the guests we had when we're actually doing it. Freedom, justice. Okay, that's something. So we have some suggestion here. Please go ahead. I do need that. We'll be taking in notes. All mental emancipation is the first topic you should talk about to get back people mind back on the right path. Your first guest should be Shehu Kuti. So Sule Yusuf is suggesting Shehu Kuti. So that's great. So we have two names now, and we have two topics: mental emancipation. Because honestly, that mental emancipation is very important. Because if you don't think you can, you can't. There's this quote. The first time I read it, the first time I read that quote, I just started laughing. Honestly, you won't even understand. As in literally, and thank God that day I was all alone in my room. Otherwise, people would have said, what's wrong with this person? I'm trying to, if you see my eyes, I'm trying to just use my phone to go on my other, to go to my YouTube channel. So I'm reading this comment. And I was just sitting down and I was reading and I read it. I just busted and I literally started laughing. It said, and this quote is by Henry Ford. It says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. And it makes so much sense. And at the same time, it doesn't make sense. If you don't look at it deeper, it will make sense. But when you really look at it, you're like, whoa, that if you think you can, if you think you can do something, you can do it. And if you think you can't do something, you can't do it. There's no how anybody can push you. And either way, you're right. Because whatever you think. So when you see people who say, oh, Nigeria won't work, oh, Nigeria won't work for them. Because they believe Nigeria can never work. There's nothing you can do. But if you see people who say, oh, Nigeria can work, then Nigeria can work for them. They believe Nigeria can work and they're ready to put in the effort and get it done. And then there's Robert Kiyosaki is the one who also said, don't say I can't do it or it can't be done. Say, how can I do it, or how can it be done? And even if you look at your body language, even like in everything, even when it comes to financial literacy, all of that, it's also part of the things that are discussed. If you say, I can't do it, it can't be done. You see, your body goes down, right? Because it's like you've given up. You've self-defeated yourself. You've not even started. You've just closed down and shut and say, it can't be done. I can't do it. But if you say, how can I do it? You see, you sort of like come up, you say, okay, how can I do it? You're wanting to learn, you're getting to go on for it. So that's just the way it is. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. Please, you also can join the conversation. It's been done in such a way that others can also join in. So please go ahead and just put that in. I hope. Why do I have that now in this whole thing? I'm just trying to go to my channel. I'll be able. Normally, I should be able to see this live that I'm on live. Oh yeah, I think I've seen it now. Okay. So I'm just trying to get to see all of those messages. Yes, I've seen that mental emancipation by Shehu Kuti. That's what we have uh, right now. So yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So if you have any suggestion also, Nazi, good evening. Planted in the spirit. Good evening to Frida. Yeah, we've greeted before. Good evening also. What do you think? What are the things what do you think about this? Please go ahead, leave your comments. Should we bring back live with Aisha Yesufu? Should we continue to bring in guests? And what are the kind of guests that you would love to see? In the meantime, let me go back to something that I saw earlier on Twitter that was really quite interesting. Nigeria is such, it doesn't, sometimes Nigeria just wants to break you, but you just have to say no. So this is from a professor, Professor Joy N. Izelu. She's a son. She has a Twitter handle at Ngozi Ezelo. I hope I got that right. Please, if I didn't, let me know. And she's Dean Emeritus, Faculty of Law, UNN, former UN Special Rapporteur on Human Trafficking, founder at Wakol Tamasak at Girls Switch have an organization, and National Human Rights Defender 019. So this is a lady who has these amazing titles. Educationally, she's top tier. She's a professor. She's a lawyer. She's a son. So whatever it is, she has gotten to that top. And this is the heartbreaking tweet that she made. She said, I am dreaming of watching AFCON 2024 live. And I inquired about flights to Abidjan to watch our Super Eagles play in the finals. I believe that Ivory Coast, being so close, an hour and 35 minutes, wouldn't cost me too much. However, my travel agent of over 20 years sent me a price quotation of 2,183,000 naira. 2,183,000 naira, which was a huge shock. Just imagine. And she said, I did the math and realized I would need to save my 5 month salary as a professor on law on the last professional step to buy one return ticket to a West African country. 5 month salary, a professor. And we think things are okay in Nigeria. She has to save 5 month salary for her to be able to buy a return ticket to Ivory Coast. And she said, this is a sad reflection of our current economic realities. She also added, please refrain from attempting to convert to US dollars. It's extremely depressing and demystifying of a full professor position. This will push the resolve of brilliant young ones we are training and mentoring to take over from us further away from the classrooms to becoming political aspirants, election delegates. My alternative plan is to cut down on expenses. I have recharged my DSTV for 19,800, and I plan to buy 20 liters of fuel to generate power because we didn't have electricity during the semi-finals. The match is a must watch for me, as it will be a breath of fresh air and a chance for me to forget about Nigeria's many woes. I want to make a public notice for those asking for help that have been posting that we haven't been paid. Kindly note that my salary, which I received yesterday, has been mortgaged in arrears. Please be patient, and let's hope we get the 8 months arrears from the ASU strike, or that NLC and FGM reach a new deal that will increase my wage. The struggle continues. Good luck to our Super Eagles. You are in my thoughts and prayers. Mhm. Wow. Wow. That's a professor of law. You understand? That's what having to save 5 months' salary to be able to buy a return ticket to Abidjan. Meanwhile, politicians who just have school cert, they will not only, but they will buy first class, because this one she's talking about is economy. They will buy first class, or not even first class, they will use private jet and fly all the way to, and fly all the way. That's my husband. I will end this thing, so I'm sure it's Saturday. I saw you watching ball. It's okay. Since you don't need me to do you omomo. But anyway, I'll soon round up. And so they will fly, private jets and go to these places and do what they want to do. But the people who are training the human capital of our country that will develop our country are being treated so shabbily. In that whole tweet that she did, there's a whole lot of humor laced in it. She was trying to make everything light. It's really heavy that this is the way we treat our politicians, and that's not the way it should be. We must have a country where lives really matter. We must have a country where it's not the politicians who are rich one. Politics should not be where you go to when you want to make money. Politics should be where you go to when you want to serve. Unfortunately for us in Nigeria, politics has become where we go to when we want to make money. So you see people want to do SSA or be delegates, like she said, because when you're a delegate, they are going to come and buy your votes. They are going to come and buy your votes and give you lots of money, or you be one thing or the other. Meanwhile, even when you're in business, you're not making money. In that case, that's why the country will keep going down. Policies should be placed where people are ready to say, okay, we don't need to make much money. All we want to get is the satisfaction of serving our country, making the right policies, for the lives of the people to be better. We absolutely must get to that level. Absolutely must get to that level. Good evening to those of you who are just joining us. What we are talking about, the question that I'm asking, there's this program I used to do before, Live with Aisha Yesufu, where we used to talk about uh, topical issues. Hello, love finance tips. Thank you so much. Well done. Where we used to talk about, topical issues, politics, governance, nation building, and we'll bring in guests. We'll be on Zoom. We'll be streaming it. Usually we stream it live, and people can either stay on YouTube to watch, or they can join us on Zoom so that they can also have the conversation with the guests. And so that's what I'm asking. Should we bring it back? Is this something that we should be doing? So please give us answers. So far, we've gotten suggestions from two people that said we should bring in Dele Farotimi and talk about freedom, justice. Someone said we should bring in Sheun Kuti, talk about mental emancipation. Please, what do you think? What are the people that you think we should bring? David Osas, thank you so much. Love you too. Nigeria is our country, and we'll keep fighting to get a great nation that works for everyone and not just a few. So, love finance tips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. So please go ahead, continue with the contribution. And also, if you want to join, please go ahead and join. The way I did it in such a way that people can come in. Let me know if you're seeing that. People can also, join this conversation, so they are always speaking. And if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, like, share. Yes! They say I should be doing that. Oh my goodness. I've not been doing that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Even my manager went like, oh, you need to be doing that. It doesn't just say. So please like, share, subscribe, and do all of that. But coming back to before we round up is to say, please, let's also know what your opinion is, and let's see what we can do with this thing. And most importantly, also, what do you think about this whole issue of our lecturers not being paid the way they need to be paid? The issue of a whole professor wanting to just buy tickets to Abidjan, 1 hour 35 minutes. It's like 2,000, two point something million. Really? Okay, so I don't, the thing beyond just the fact that economy is bad and everything, I think, and you can't even blame it. Airline tickets are extremely expensive in Nigeria. You probably, if you're flying from Ghana, that will be maybe like, even if it's the same distance, you won't be spending as much as this. One of the things that we've had, because a lot of these airlines, their monies are locked up in Nigeria, they're not going to collect Naira, they're going to collect Forex, they're going to collect dollars and all of that. And Nigeria has not been paying them, has locked down their money. So it's been a major problem. And they're using that in such a way because we are now like bad market. And so they're really charging us a lot more than we ought to be charged. So you find out that if you're flying from Ghana to London, the difference is so much, like more than when you're flying from Nigeria to London. So if I'm looking at this, like this particular price, 2 point something million, that's over $1,000, right? Why should a flight of just 1 hour something be more than $1,000? Because $1,000 will make it, let's say, 1.5, and then there's other distance. So maybe we're talking about $1,300, $1,004 to go just to Abidjan and come back. It's crazy. This is a place where ordinarily, if not that African countries have so much turned themselves into, let me not use that word, because let me not just use that word. Let me just be nice. Let me just be nice to us. We should have a rail. I should be able to jump on a train and go to Abidjan. I should be able to jump on a train and be in Ghana. I should be able to jump on a train and be, in Senegal and all of that. At least let's put this thing. Let's be able to move around. We are not that big. We are not the ones with the most population in the world, in Africa, or the continent. So why are we just doing these things that our well, it's all about the politics that we're talking about. See Senegal that they brought that man yesterday. He's now the monster in charge, now shutting down internet. Meanwhile, people literally were on the street. People died for that man to be president. Now he's the one now that they brought in that is shutting down everywhere. And that's why I always say to people, we must get to a place where we are speaking. We understand our rights. We don't say because I like this person, oh, he's my this, I voted for him, I like him. Then you turn your I know you have to hold them accountable. Otherwise, they will not become what do you call it now? Baby, is it monstrous monsters? I'm just trying to read what we have. Okay. I'm trying to see the messages we have here. Victory all the way. Hello. So I'm reading the messages from here. I just don't want to be squinting, because if I have to look, I have to be looking quite close. So it says, okay, Nathan Ehrlich says, hi, I have a question. Please go ahead with your question. And please also, the way I did it, you can also join me. Just tap on it and join me, please, so that we can hear your question. If you feel better writing the question, please go ahead and write the question. Favor Blessed said, unfortunately, it is not about service. They want to keep Nigeria so that the masses will focus on how to feed their stomach, so that the politician, will be busy looting. I wish I can say you are wrong. favor, but unfortunately, that's the reality. You're so right. That's what they do. And that's why they keep us occupied with mundane issues. You can imagine that in 2024, we are still fighting for a right to live. We're still saying they should respect our human rights. People are still talking about hunger. These are the same things that our great grandparents were fighting over during the colonialism, and we are still doing that, right? But like you rightly said, they do all of these things in a way to keep us occupied so that they will not be doing all the things that they're doing. Nathan Ellis, please go ahead with your question. Go ahead with your question, please. Victory of the West says Nigeria has become bad market with these criminals running the country. So it is. Dakota Leota says, I need a prayer. Dakota Leota, may God be with you, and whatever it is that you're going through, may God make it easy for you. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes we think things are not going to get better, but they actually do over time. May God ease whatever it is that you're going through at this moment, and may God, if there's something you're looking forward to, may God help you in succeed in getting it, and may it be the best for you. Oyi, I think that's the name, say criminals, terrorists, kidnappers, court guards are rewarded in Nigeria, while intellectuals and educationists that are house of knowledge are highly neglected and never rewarded. That's also the sad reality that we have. Criminality is what is going on. And you find out that the corruptible ones are always the ones who have their head held high, while the incorruptible ones are the ones that are being shamed because they decided to do the right thing and not be corrupt and not to loot and not to steal and not to do all sorts of criminality. But one day, that certainly will change. We'll get to that, because what we have right now is actually a vocal minority. They are a minority, not in the majority, but it's just that they are more vocal and they tend to get away with it. Yoda says Africa has to retrieve its children from around the world. Well, for Africa to be able to retrieve its children from around the world, Africa has to make a home for its children. Right now, it's not a home. Even the children that we have right now, we're busy sending them all over the world for them to go and get citizenship of other countries, because we're not doing the needful. Imagine in today's world, and for me, that's one of the most, I think, the greatest injustice that we have done to the people who were taken away from Africa as slaves. For them, if they were to wake up today and see that there are Africans who are willingly swimming and climbing on boats and ships to travel to Europe, that's the greatest slap, that we have not developed enough for other Africans that have been thrown all over the place to have a home that they can come back to. I mean, it's really a shame on all of us Africans. We need to do better. And the other says, until Africa returns those Black Americans, those British back to Africa, Africa will suffer. Well, Africa can't return them until Africa gets its act together, because of course, they wouldn't want to return to a place where they will not be begging for food, begging for water, they will not be enjoying. So the first thing that needs to happen is that Africa needs to get itself together. We need to develop, we need to get those. Then we don't even need to bring them, but they will come willingly back home. They proudly call Africa motherland. And so we just need to also fix it up for that to truly happen. Then the next thing, of course, here is Adeniyi Adegoke says, you're highly motivated, and may God Almighty continue to guide and provide you more strength to fight for the Commonwealth. Amen. Thank you so much. Like I always say to people, for me, I'm fighting for that unborn generation the way I wish others had fought for me. And no matter what Nigeria throws at me, I'm not giving up on Nigeria. I believe Nigeria can work in our lifetime, and I'm going to do my every bit to ensure that it does work in our lifetime. And so that's something that is very critical. So back to the subject, of course, again, is that there is a program called Let's Live with Aisha Yesufu that comes up Saturday, 6 p.m. Is it something that you would like for us to return? And also, what are the kind of guests that you would love to see on that program? Please just, by the way, also subscribe, like, share. If you're not subscribing, what are you doing? So that's the question that we have? Is this something we can bring on so that it's basically we talk about topical issues, we talk about politics, we talk about governance, we also talk about nation building. These conversations are actually very, very critical. And so please go ahead. So yeah, please go ahead and let us know what do you think about that. For those of you that have joined, thank you so much. It's really been interesting, having that conversation we're having. But I don't know why I'm not getting any of you join me. It would have been lovely to hear your voices. And I've been the only one talking. I would have really loved to hear, because that's why I put it in such a way that others can join me. I don't know whether it's not activated or there's something that I'm supposed to do. Also, let me know if there's something that I'm supposed to do that I'm not doing, that I have not done, for that to actually be. Paul Sergio says, yeah, please ask the questions. Hi, welcome. Please do ask the questions. I would love to also answer. If there's any question that you would love me to answer, please do that. Please do that. Otherwise, we'll just be rounding up right now. So that's what I want. That's what I want. Get those. Let's get interactive, and what are the things that we need to do. So please keep the questions coming. Let's go over it. Right now, the question that we do have is, do you think we should bring back Live with Aisha Yesufu, where we used to bring in guests that we talk about national issues, politics, governance, and nation building? And if yes, who are the people that you would love to see as guests? Right now, we have Dele Farotimi has been mentioned, Shehu Kuti has been mentioned. Are there other people that you would love to see be brought on as guests? Please, let's see that. And when you see me looking down, I'm trying to read the comment. I don't like squinting, so it doesn't be. Okay, Victory all the way says yes, bring it back. Uh, uh, Amir Shaku says, I love your show. Thank you for that. Greetings and blessings to you and the family, says John G. And Victory all the way says, Kenneth Okonkwo. Yes, we had Kenneth. We had Kenneth when the last time we were doing the show. So that's the name that is down there. We have Kenneth there. So we probably will look at bringing these guests in, bringing the conversation back and just talking about this. So I will be rounding up shortly. But before I go, I'm going to say to every one of us here, politics is our business. Politics affects every part of our lives. Politics affect our businesses, our schools, our education, our health, our nation, every aspect of our life. And politics is one thing that can make or mar citizens in a country. It is through political process that we bring in the people that will lead us and govern us. And it is through good governance that we can get development. So it's very important for every one of us to begin to take part in politics. It is no longer the time that you will say that, oh, I'm not interested in politics. I don't do politics. Politics is dirty. Well, let's clean it up. Let's ensure that we begin to have clean politics here. If we allow only the people who don't have any other job or politics to continue to be the ones in politics, they will desperately do everything to wreck the nation, because all they're thinking about is looting, not serving. So for those of us who have other jobs, let us become interested in politics and take part in it, so that we'll be able to churn out people who we get into office and will be able to serve us and give us good governance that will affect us positively, not negatively. You see what is happening today? Whether the cost of dollar, the high cost of living, the insecurity, everyone is affected. Whether you're in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, we are all affected. The money you used to send that was enough before, you need to send more to be able to take care of the nation. You need good healthcare services. It costs a lot of money. Access to good quality education is very expensive. So please, 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 whenever the discussion about politics comes up, we should not stay away from it. We have not gotten to the stage where we can afford not to be part of politics. There are some countries, their political system is so developed that only a few people need to focus on politics and everything is kept okay. They have a critical mass that, even if it's a small mass, but for us, we don't have a critical mass. And so we need to build that critical mass. And for now, what we need to do to build that critical mass is to actually participate in this politics. So please, 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 you don't have to run for office to participate in politics. Political activism, like I've said, if you have what it takes to give good governance, accountability, transparency, if you have competence, character, capacity, and you want to run for office, you can run for office. If you don't want to run for office, you can be a party member. Maybe when they are doing delegates and all of that, if you're one of the delegates, you ensure you're voting for the right person that will lead Nigeria well and not by how much you are paid. You can also support people who are running for office. And then also you can help people who are running for office to raise money. These are politics. These are political parts that every one of us can take part in. And so these are things that were needed right now. At this very moment, Nigeria needs every of our hand to be on deck, especially politically. We have a huge population, but unfortunately, politics without education is a disaster. We have a lot of people who are not educated, who are not literate, who have never been to school. So the education that you have is not for you alone. It's for millions of others who didn't have the opportunity to be educated. And guess what? They also participate in the political process. They go to vote. Some of them don't know why they are voting. Some of them with 500 naira, their votes will be sold. But you, by taking part, you can begin to enlighten them. You can begin to talk to them. These are our people. Some of them are our cousins. Some of them are aunties and uncles in the villages. Some of them are our relations. Some of them are acquaintances. Some of them are our workers who don't understand. So by you talking to them, every one of us coming to their own level to enlighten them is also be taking part in the political process. Because at the end of the day, remember earlier on in this show, in this live, we talked about a professor. A professor has one vote. Someone who has never been to school has one vote. And that professor's vote can be cancelled by that person. So every one of us, we must ensure that this is not the time to look away. You saw what happened in 2022. You saw what happened in 2023. Yes, we might not have gotten the result that we wanted. Yes, our our mandate was stolen. Yes, a lot of things happened, but it shook the political class because within 7 months, Nigerians did what was impossible. You brought in a candidate, you supported that candidate, and that candidate became something. And so imagine if you continue to put that effort for the next 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 7 years, 50 years, Nigeria will not be what they want it to be. Nigeria will be what we want it to be, a great nation that is there for everyone. So please, I say to you and I beg of you, let's continue to participate in the politics and the governance of our country. Don't get tired. The people who give us evil, they never get tired. So you and I have no business getting tired. Good must be more tenacious than evil. People stay on for decades upon decades, plotting to get into office and give disaster. Why won't we stay on decades upon decades, ensuring that we get good governance, accountability, and transparency? Because at the end of the day, this is our country. We don't have any other country, and we are deserving of a good life. We are deserving of a good nation. Thank you very much. Let me read that comment. I see a comment. Thank you so much. Okay, so I see some questions that have come up here. So I'll answer some of these questions before we round up. Let me start from the bottom here. Oyi1 of Oyi Ofole says, please, my sister Aisha, can I ask you this question? Because you're more informed than me. No, I'm not more informed. You're all learning. Why is it that people don't come out whenever they're invited to come out for a mega protest? And I'm going to tell you something. It's one of the questions that we can take up on this. But let me tell you a little bit of what I see. The first set of dictators that Nigerians came across is not government. It's not police putting tear gas on them. It's actually parents. The protest starts from home. Demanding for accountability starts from home. But unfortunately, many people are not allowed the opportunity to know and grow and learn how to protest. So you have, for example, if there's something wrong, if as a Nigerian child you speak up, they say, "Oh, shut up! You don't speak up to elders. Whatever the elder says is right, even when the elder is wrong." So even when you want to say, "Ah, no, but mommy, I don't think this is right," shut up. How dare you tell me this is not right? I brought you to this one. I will take you out. All those kind of a thing, and then the children, they go to schools. Teachers do the same thing to them. Elders do the same thing to them. Guess what? When they grow into adulthood, they will simply replace government with they simply replace their parents with government. So most Nigerians don't know how to speak up. So most Nigerian thinks when you're making demands on government that you're being disrespectful. So that's on the one level. So they don't understand. So when you say come and protest, they say protest for what? The next thing, of course, is religion. Religion has been used to brainwash Nigerians in a very negative way. So you have, because the religious rulers and the political rulers, they always, I say this thing all the time, they work hand in hand. So the religious rulers, right? They need the political rulers to give bad governance so that they can sell cheap miracles. That's why somebody tell you, "Oh, you come and take prayers. You don't need to go to hospital. Prayers will cure you." But hello, some people are getting to hospital in that same person that is telling you prayers will cure you, he's going abroad to go and get medical treatment and he gets cured. The human brain is a miracle from God. The medical treatment on its own is a miracle. Somebody will say, "Go and bring your passport so that they will pray for you. Then you get visa." Meanwhile, there are a lot of countries that don't need visa to those countries because they have a strong economy, they have a strong passport, they don't need this thing. And then you also have the political rulers, they need the religious rulers to keep the people down so that the people will not revolt. So when they will say protest, say, "Why are you doing protest?" They say protest is haram. Don't go out and protest. Then amongst the Christians, they will say, this administration will favor me. Come and pray for your own miracle. Get your own miracle. That's it. So these are some of the things that have stopped a lot of protests. And then, of course, you have parents who will not want their children to be to come out for protest. Oh, no, they will either tell you this, don't be there, don't be there. And there's fear. And then, of course, there's also fear of being hurt, fear of being killed, fear of being attacked, because Nigerian government is known to actually attack and kill protesters. So these are some of the things. And then, of course, there's that issue of this lack of unity. So when some people will say, "Come on, let's protest," some other people will say, "No, the president is from our village or our state or our region. We are not protesting," or this one or that one. But you know what? When hunger does not know religion, hunger does not know tribe, hunger does not know gender. It will affect everybody. That hunger, when we have that something, common thing that is uniting us, it is nobody will tell anybody to come out and protest. People will be on their streets alone, you know, coming out and protesting. So that's one. Thank Wenam Keyu, shalom to you to Dr. Goro. Okay, yeah, Dr. Goro. So let me write that down. You wanted, how do we solve the issue of insecurity with the confine of our communities, in your opinion, point of view? On the issue of insecurity, these are some of the topics that we really need to take in depth. We'll bring you some security experts. But I think one of the things that people keep shouting is that, "Oh, communities should arm themselves, communities should do this," and people keep forgetting that arming yourself is not, it's not cheap. Yeah, it's very expensive. And now even like it's against the law in Nigeria for people to on their own carry arms, though there have been some people who are agitating for that to be allowed. But if it's allowed, what about the poor? Who is going to protect them? How are they going to protect themselves? One of the things that needs to be done is for us to keep making demands on government, because it's the government that should be protecting lives and property. They have everything that it takes to protect the lives and properties of citizens. And so all these issues make more of these demands to an extent, uh, ensure that silence is not an option. A lot of the attacks that are happening, they are actually underreported. So we have social media. Let's bring these things out more Don't keep quiet. If you keep quiet and not talk about it, they will say you like it. These are some of the things that need to be done. I would say intelligence gathering is very important. People need to pass on information, but then the question always is, where do you even get to pass on information reliably that the security agents will not go and tell the enemy? So these are also some of the things that have really been affecting people. So it's a whole lot of things, but I think at the end of the day, it's to talk. One of the okay, one of the video. If it's 6 o'clock, I did that video earlier on, which I scheduled for 6 p.m. because I put out my videos 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. I do three longer videos now. It's talking about state policing. We need to start agitating for state policing. We need to be able to hold our governors accountable. The one that is commander-in-chief is president and commander-in-chief that is in control of all the security. It has failed Nigeria. It's not working. It's not enough. We need to have state policing that will be able to carry the security votes that are given to governors. They should be able to spend it. Let's know what they are spending it on. Not the one they just collect these monies. We don't know what they are using it for. We don't know what they are spending it on. They just do whatever it is that they want to do. So these are some of the. So let's agitate, because I was asking, why are governors not agitating for state policing? We need to begin to really agitate for state policing and let the legislative National Assembly, state houses of assembly, let them begin to talk about this thing. Let them make this thing a reality, because the lives of people need to be protected. All saying that, oh, communities should protect themselves, it's actually not it, because there are a lot of communities that have armed themselves. Guess what happened? The soldiers will go in there and disarm them and start arresting them. So we need to begin to get the states to, protect the lives of people. So, okay, I'm trying to see some of the questions, okay, that were asked, if there's any I missed. Lawrence Utulu, hello, God bless you, hello. Okay, Okago TV, thank you for joining. Shilo, thank you. Leah, thank you also, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, I've answered that. What did you think about revolution in Nigeria to come out and protest against bad governors? Somebody is asking, are you a Muslim? Yes, I'm a Muslim. Earlier, yeah, on the issue of revolution, I've said this countless times, and I'm going to repeat this again. It is either we have a bloody revolution or a bloodless revolution. Bloodless revolution is a revolution where we are changing the system, where it's not about people carrying arms, it's not about people being on the streets or anything, but literally changing the system. And the 2023 election was actually a bloodless revolution when Nigerians came out and decided to vote. But unfortunately for them, that we saw what happened. The election was rigged and all of that. And revolution is imminent in Nigeria. I've been saying this since about 2018, 2019, that it's imminent. Whether we like it or not, one of it will happen. For me, I will always go for a bloodless revolution of changing system, because that way you're controlling what is happening and ensuring that you're getting the good out of it. The bloody revolution, which is already happening, all these killings that you see in Nigeria, all the kidnappings, the abduction, the terrorism, the banditry, it's all revolution. It's people who have given up on the nation, people who are killing, who are revolting and killing their fellow citizens. That's what they're doing. Now we're also having a lot of people now, more and more are coming out on the street. I said to people, the fact that you have a clean shirt, the fact that you have a job, the fact that you have a good food will make you an enemy, because that other person sees you as one of them. You know you are not part of government. You know you are not the one. You're not a minister. You're not a governor. You're not the one making this decision on government. But they don't know. The fact that you're educated makes you one of them, and that makes us vulnerable. If there's a bloody revolution, every one of us is vulnerable, and they are closer to us than they are to the people in government. The people in government, guess what? They will jet out. Most of them already have second passports that they've purchased for themselves and their families. And so they will jet out of the country. They will leave us here to face the consequences of this. And that's why I always say to people, don't look for that bloody revolution. Let's do the revolution of changing system. That works better. Some people talk about the Arab Spring, that at the end of the day, you do this bloody revolution. What now happens? They bring somebody, another monster comes in. What in Egypt, where are they right now? It's still another monster that is there doing all the things that they're doing. So for me, that's what I think about our revolution. But the way it is, anything can happen. Hunger is already pushing people on the streets more than you can think about. Okay, Bami Bola Teju. Oh, thank you so much. He's watching from Italy. Sarah and Tony, good evening to you too. Uh, oh, thank you for subscribing. So please, if you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share. Yes. I'm always trying to remember how they say that thing. Like now. If you've not liked, what are you doing? Just like. Anyway, Bamigola said people will stab you and then get offended, say you have no right to be. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, that's the irony of life. Like somebody said, in Africa, when you're fighting for people's right, you have to be using one hand to fight and the other have to fight them off you. But because people have been treated so badly, and that's what we have. People have been treated so badly, and so sometimes when they see people speaking for them, they're like, "Why are you speaking for us? There must be something suspicious. There must be something you're gaining." That's why people always feel that, oh, you must be making money, you must be collecting, you must be looking for appointment and all of that. For me, all those things don't bother me. What people say, I always say praises and insults, they are the same to me because if I don't get angry when people praise me, why should I be angry when people insult me? They are all their opinion. If somebody says, Aisha, you're crazy. I'm crazy anyways. What then is the way forward? Okay. Abubakar Musa, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you so much watching in from Cameroon. Thank you. Uh, so it says, what then? There's a question I saw. What then is the way forward? Well, the way forward is a whole lot of things. Like, let's political participation is very important, even for people who say, oh, they want, for example, I see people who say, I think that's one of the comments I just saw, they want Yoruba nation, they want Igbo nation, they want Arewa nation, they want Middle Belt nation, they want South nation. For me, whatever it is, one Nigeria to me is not sacrosanct, but good governance, accountability, and transparency is sacrosanct. These things are sacrosanct. And so these are what are very important. Whether we decide to stay together as one Nigeria or we decide to separate into six different either countries or with a loose federation or whatever it is, we still have to do politics. We still have to have political organization. We still have to have political process. So let's begin to engage in the political process. What we've had so far is that we've left politics for people who really don't care about Nigeria. We left politics for people who don't have second job, who for them politics is a way of sustenance. So they don't see politics as a place to go and serve. They see it as a place to go and make money. That has to change. So these are things that we all, let's begin to take part in it. Let's be active citizens. Governance is of two sides, according to Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, the demand side of governance and also the supply side of governance. Those who are voted into office supply, those who vote them into office make demand. So let's keep making the mass. Let's keep bringing up these issues. Let's keep talking about these issues. And little by little, we would all get there. And of course, for people who, if we want to have separate countries like Yoruba, Arewa, Igbo nation, Biafra nation, a Middle Belt, South nation, and all of that. It's very simple. Let's talk to our lawmakers. Let's get the lawmakers that will do that into office, and then it's about then there's a referendum. And then we get it on. These are the things that has to be done. It's so nothing good ever comes out of trying to say, oh, I'm going to do violence. Violence never brings anything good. No, it doesn't. Okay, so what else? What can we in diaspora to give voice to the Amanat supported Yoruba? I think what the people in diaspora can do is also to be part of the political process. For me, I've always said this about Nigerians in diaspora. You contribute so much money. You contribute about 3 to 4% of the GDP of Nigeria, according to some reports. Yet you have zero political power. Begin to establish yourself also in the political system. Nigerians in diaspora, you should have representative in every state house of assembly. You should have representative at the National Assembly. You have a number, you have the money. Politics is about numbers and money. And when you're talking about money, it's not money to buy food. Some people think when they say politics, politics is expensive. They think it's money to buy votes or buy delegates. No, the money for the day-to-day affair, the money that you use for your posters, for your logistics, for your transportation, for your communication, for you to be on radio, for you to be on TV, for your those ads, for your what do you call these people now, party agents, because you need to be able to pay your party agent. These are very expensive things that consume a lot of money. So Nigerians in diaspora, you have the money. Your £1, your $1 is 1,005. Your £1 is about 2,000 or thereabout. Your €1 is also maybe 1,007, 1,008. These are monies that you can also pull together, use it to get some of your members over there. Maybe some of them are retired, some of them, they can come back to their respective states, run for office, and then run to be, members of state houses of assembly, and then they can represent your voices out there. So these are also some of the things that you all can do as Nigerians in diaspora. What should we do to stop corruption? First of all, voting people who are not corrupt into offices, because there's no how you're going to stop corruption if you keep voting in people who are corrupt. So by the time we vote in people who are not corrupt into office, that's the beginning. Then we demand for accountability and transparency. That's going to happen. David Aka says Nigeria cannot be one. Divide and rule will be the best for Nigeria. Well, if Nigeria can be one, fine and good. Let's get our lawmakers, the legislative arm of government, to give us a new constitution, put a referendum there, let Nigeria decide. If we can't stay together, we separate. There's no big deal about it. There's no region in Nigeria that cannot survive and be amazing. We are a very blessed and rich country all over Nigeria, from the north to the south to the east to the west. We are blessed. We have amazing things. What we are cursed with is bad leaders from across north, south, east, west. They are all bad leaders. And so if that's we want to separate, that's what the Dominic Cabra, I don't know what you mean by bomber, but I wouldn't know what your mindset is all about. But hey, I do you. This life is too short for somebody to be worried about someone that, if not for what do you call it now? If not for the screen, you will not have been able to even know the person has is there. What should you, okay, we talked about that. David Brown, so what do you think should be the duty of youth regarding the economic crisis we're in the nation? Well, the youth, I don't think there's much about what the youth should be doing. Unfortunately, the country has been put is in such a mess. But I think what I would say the youth should be doing is watch out for themselves as much as possible. Grow themselves. Let them not allow the country to limit them. There's a whole world out there. Learn financial literacy. Take care of your finances. Don't joke with your finances. This is the time for you to be saving and investing and growing yourself. And grow, also use the internet widely. Try to get all of these remote jobs, whatever it is that you can get, especially if you can earn in forex. That's very important. There's so much use. The social media is such an opportunity, and there's so technology has brought the world to be like a global village. Don't use the social media just as a place to catch cruise or to insult or to fight or do that. Use it as a place to grow yourself. And if you have opportunity to leave the country, please do that. Don't hold yourself back. And there were some people who try to emotionally blackmail you. Oh, if you leave the country, who is going to remain? We, the older generation, we will remain. When we fix it, you guys can come back and do it. And if you can't, then look for what is it that you can do very well and ensure that you excel at it. What is very important, and I can tell you that Nigeria is having a crisis of competent people, even when it comes to education, people whose degree really is degree, not the one that you see someone with second class upper, but they really can't do anything. So you can actually still grow yourself very well here. You can do that. So just keep uh, doing the right thing and keep growing and just don't give up on yourself. Somebody said, Dominic Cabra said, you like Trump or Biden? Hello, I'm in Nigeria. I'm dealing with my demon here. You guys deal with your own. When you're done, let me know. Leah, thank you so much. God bless you too. Adaji Agapi says, can we have death penalty for embezzlement of public funds? The thing is that, first of all, catch them. That's one of the things I said too. It's not whether it's death penalty or it's not. let's first of all be able to prosecute the ones that we've caught. A lot of times they are prosecuted, then they use the money, they go to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will free them on one technicality or the other. I think at this moment that we're going to be rounding up. I'm going to round up here to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I think with this, we'll be able to say, okay, Live with Aisha, from the reaction I've gotten so far, Live with Aisha will start again, God willing, next week, Saturday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Then we'll look at, I'll reach out to some of these guests and other. We'll see who is the first guest that we'll be bringing back again. Please, if you haven't, share, like, and subscribe. Just like it. Hey, like it. Just like it. Thank you so much for every one of you for your kind words. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for making this really pleasant. Thank you, and bye-bye.